What is happening here? Is it a play school? Is it a creche? Are these children playing in a village park? None of these. These are children learning the serious subject of mathematics in one of our regular rural schools. Rishi Valley Rural Education Center is located in Rishi Valley in the state of Andhra Pradesh and in the district of Chittor. It is about 600 kilometers from the state capital of Hyderabad, 300 kilometers from Chennai, 150 kilometers from Bangalore, and 120 kilometers from the temple town of Tirupati. The story of rural education in Rishi Valley goes back into the 1970s. At that time, a decision was made by the management of Rishi Valley to open a small school for the rural staff of the main school. There were about 30 children at that time. It was headed by visitors or teachers who taught primarily at the main school. It changed its character whenever there was a change of the head of the school, which was quite frequent. It was in the mid-80s that the management decided to have a long-term plan and direction for the school. Full-time teachers were appointed in 1985, and that is the time a young couple, Padmanabha Rao and his wife Rama Rao, joined the Rural Education Center.
We really got an opportunity to expand the rural education program in the surrounding villages, and we have also got an opportunity to train the rural youngsters. So that really made us think about the problems faced by these rural schools in the surrounding villages. We wanted to see how we could overcome the problems like low levels of learning and high dropout rate, then student absenteeism, teachers absenteeism, so which are there. Added to all that, we had a multi-grade, multi-level situation in the schools.
The first single teacher school was started at a hamlet 4 kilometers from Rishi Valley in 1986 and was called Valmiki Vanam.
We had a very rocky foundation to the Rural Education Center. There were many differences of opinion. Some people felt that education was not necessary for the peasants, because after all they had to farm and they had their own apprenticeship and they learned by themselves, and that this modern education was not relevant. So there was a lot of back and forth, and we had people from all over the countryside coming and taking charge and then hitting the children or X, Y, Z and leaving. So finally when Raos came, it was like a breath of fresh air, because they had many qualifications. One is that Rama was steeped in the traditional literary culture. Her father was a poet, recognized poet, and Rao had a flair for folk tales and folk art and folk, and a real natural love of it. So that's really the basis of their success. That they had a feeling for, both of them were part of the Telugu culture, and they had this deep sense of folk theatre and folk arts and appreciation of it and respect for it. I think these things count a lot.
In the period 1988 to 1992, 11 other satellite schools were created in 11 other villages around Rishi Valley. It was during this period that a program was designed, specifically tailored for one teacher, one room schools.
And so when they went to the villages and they saw the state of affairs there, that their textbooks were very boring, they had no connection with their life. This is not a good way of proceeding. That you have the same textbook, one man runs the show, the rest just follow, or not follow, or drop out. So they analyzed the situation and realized it was in the rural countryside there's no correspondence between ability and age. So they decided to replace textbooks by graded cards, and that was a brilliant stroke. It was absolutely brilliant. And it is that which is their greatest achievement, the ladder of learning, and the mapping of the ladder, of these incremental steps on the ladder with cards, so that children are free to go as long as they follow pattern.
Thus evolved the multi-grade, multi-level system, or what is now called the MGML methodology. This enabled the formation in 1993 of the Rishi Valley Institute for Educational Resources, now popularly known as RIVER. A typical day begins with the children coming to school early and cleaning up the premises of the school. This is not taken as a tedious chore, but as a fun time activity with everybody taking part. And then it's breakfast time. This is followed by the morning assembly before the start of the school. And this is where this school departs from being like any other ordinary school. Take a look around the classroom. It is a single-room school with a single teacher. In this room, there are children from 5 grades. Surprised? For a casual onlooker, it will be surprising. But for those using this unique methodology, it is very common. Children in this classroom do not sit in neat rows, with the teacher in the front with a textbook in her one hand and a cane in the other. Children sit in small groups, depending on what type of support they require in the learning process. The teacher does not stand in front of the class, like in the typical teacher-directed schools, but sits with the children at their level. How does the system differ from the existing conventional teaching methodology? What is the essence of the system? A very obvious thing that you will notice is that there are no textbooks being used. In the multi-grade, multi-level, the MGML methodology, there are no textbooks. That does not mean that the curriculum has also been sidelined. Far from it. The difference is that the existing national curriculum has been scaled down into small, meaningful and manageable activities. Activities are put together to form milestones. Milestones are clubbed together to form the ladder of learning. A typical ladder will look like this, and milestones in the ladder are indicated like this, and in which are indicated the activities. These activities are depicted in easily identifiable cards. Cards for the appropriate grade and for the appropriate subject are easily identifiable by the color coding and the logos on them. Pink bordered cards are for grade 1, green bordered cards are for grade 2, golden cards are for grade 3, and the silver cards are for grade 4. To distinguish the cards for the three subjects of Telugu, Mathematics, and Environmental Studies, the cards have logos on them. All language cards have animal logos, mathematics cards have bird logos, and environmental studies cards have insect logos. The curriculum is so structured so as to give the teacher a lot of time to give all students adequate individual attention, and secondly, to encourage peer learning and self-learning in the classroom itself. Activities are categorized as introductory, practice, evaluation, and remedial or enrichment activities. Unlike the seating done in conventional schools, in which children sit in rows with the teacher standing in front, in the schools that practice the MGML methodology, children sit in groups depending on the support that a child needs at that point in time and space. Thus, there is this dynamic grouping in the seating of children in a typical classroom. In our system, there are 4 groups in which children sit. They are teacher-supported groups, partly teacher-supported groups, peer-supported, and independent learning groups. So, in a typical day, children sit according to the activities that they are involved in. To help them, logo markers are placed at the center of each table. As the child moves on to the next activity, his or her sitting place also changes. This, therefore, breaks the monotony of sitting at a fixed place throughout an academic year. What began as a modest program in 1986 came to be acclaimed by others. In 1994, River was requested to conduct a workshop in the district of Mysore in the neighbouring state of Karnataka. The program was an immense success and was watched by many government officials from other states. A number of states approached River to do this program in their locations, prominent among them being Kerala, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Assam, and Tamil Nadu. The school in a box kits were designed in Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, and in Hindi. Yielding to pressure to produce material to help trainers, a set of trainers' modules in Hindi and in English has been designed.
Yeah, around 92, 93, the quality in our schools has really, improved a lot. We could see children learning by themselves and teachers enjoying the whole teaching learning process. Enjoying in the sense they were able to, organize a very meaningful classroom transaction, situation. They were able to create this kind of situation. And there were some visitors coming from the surrounding government schools. And later on the word just, went around that these schools, single teacher schools, are really doing very well. And that was in 93 when UNICEF has seen some of our schools, and neither they saw our schools, and they found this is a real viable alternative for many of the rural school problems. And that was the time, a team from Karnataka, HD Kote, they came here to see and study a project, and they thought this could be a very good answer to their problems, a good solution, because HD Kote in Karnataka, they also had similar situation, single teacher schools, children at different levels, multi-grade, multi-level situation, and irrelevant textbooks.
The MGML methodology went global when in 2000 a group of educationists from a district in Ethiopia, sponsored by a church in the United States, visited Rishi Valley and participated in a designer workshop. A kit was developed in the Arfan Oromo language. A team from India went to Ethiopia in November 2007 for a month and established model schools and developed the program further over there. Currently, long-term exchange programs and collaborative projects are being done with the University of Regensburg, Germany, and the University of Metz, France, and with a group of business entrepreneurs from the Harvard Business School who have formed the India School Fund. The Government of India and the UNICEF have launched a quality package project which involves introduction of this methodology in 12,000 schools across 12 states of India. The state of Tamil Nadu has introduced this methodology in all its government-run schools, which involves 37,500 schools, 200,000 teachers, and 600,000 children.
Well, it has been a long, satisfying journey, a very rewarding thing, travels across the country as educational consultants, and especially River being support agency for many state agencies. We really see things are changing, and especially in the southern part like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, the things have really moved ahead, and you could see tangible results coming up, and a lot of studies by UNESCO and even the Government of India. These studies have proven that this methodology is really improving, really helping children and teachers to really bring a lot of change in the classroom situation, and achievement levels have gone up. So I feel it's really rewarding, and the kind of synergy that was created among the teachers, because most of these programs are really headed by the teachers. Teachers as a body are leading most of the programs, and the kind of cooperation and the synergy that was created, because the whole notion of experts helping the non-experts was totally got dissolved in this kind of interactions, because the River intervention starts with a kind of designers workshop, wherein you have a cross section of teachers, trainers, community members, experts, and children all coming together, artists, local folklore specialists, all coming together and helping to transcreate the local curriculum, coming up with a very relevant, interesting, locally contextualized syllabuses, curriculums, which are very useful, and which really make children participate in it, really make teachers feel the sense of ownership. And I think in the last 20 years, I think we could really see a lot of changes happening. And it's not just River has initiated all these things, but the kind of synergy that was created with these simple things, like we need to put community in the center stage. Community school linkage is very important, and then creating interesting teaching learning materials using the local culture, and then involving the teachers and making them to be in the forefront and lead the whole project.
The program's crowning glory came in 2005 when River was awarded the first prize for being the most innovative development project for the year 2004. This prize is sponsored by the World Bank and the Government of Japan. River has not patented its methodology, nor has it made efforts to have copyrights. It does not advertise this methodology, and yet Throughout the year, individuals and organizations approach River to get to learn this methodology. Towards this end, River obliges interested parties. 3-day orientation workshops for top managers and resource persons are held. At other times, 10-day induction workshops are held for groups of around 50 in number at a time. These workshops are conducted at a minimum frequency of at least 1 or 2 in a month and are conducted practically throughout the year. Many thousands of teachers have now been trained by us, and they, in turn, have formed core groups at their respective locations. Thus, thousands of more local teachers have been trained. The workshops are very interactive in nature, and participants learn from us as much as we learn from them. During the workshops, participants are taken from the known to the unknown and are exposed to the various facets of the MGML methodology. Prior to their returning home, the participants give us a tentative blueprint as to how they visualize the use of this methodology in their schools. Once the process gets underway, and after some months, teams from River go to those places, and mid-course evaluation and corrections are given at site. There are a number of reasons why this methodology is such a success. Firstly, there are no textbooks. All learning is activity-based. A child learns at his or her own pace. He or she is a self-driven learner. There is a sense of achievement at each stage of the learning process. Even though a child is absent from school for a period of time, the child picks up from where he or she had stopped. There is, thus, no frustration in the child for lagging behind, as sooner or later the child will catch up with his peers. 40% of the curriculum is made by the teachers, and hence there is a sense of ownership in the teachers who want to see that the system works. The methodology has an inbuilt mechanism for real-life experiences. For example, the children participate in a mathematics festival called Metric Mela. Here the children are exposed to different types of weights and measures, and so participating in grown-up activities and learning by doing.
We would like to very organically grow in a very sustainable way. One of the important things is that scaling up the primary school methodology, the school in a box primary package, we would like to take it forward to the middle school, see what are the strong elements of the school in a box, and see how we could design a very interesting middle school and high school package. Already a strong group of teachers, both from River and Rishi Valley, we formed core group, and we are working on these materials and methodologies. And the next one would be distance networking with different stakeholders. Because a major barrier to MGML expansion is reaching out to the remote schools, down in the tribal schools, or maybe in Andaman Nicobar Islands, or even in Ethiopia. So we would like to be in touch with them. This multi-grade family is now growing. So we would like to be in touch with them and help them especially in the initial stages where there are a lot of teething problems, because this program is a totally new intervention, and for this kind of pedagogical reform there needs to be lot of on-the-job support, and we feel setting up a teleeducation or a virtual classroom situation here would really help us keep in touch with different groups. And there is a lot of interest in other countries, like countries like Pakistan, Mexico, Peru, and Kenya, China. These countries are all Sri Lanka. They are showing a lot of interest in collaborating with us and initiating similar programs. Another important element, a milestone in our program would be start a teacher training institute, focusing more on creating training courses for young graduates, where they come out with this kind of MGML technology, so that they could really use that skill and capacity and start some and create some very common sense primary schools.
Padmanabha and Rama Rao joined the Rural Education Center in 1985. The couple, together with a few committed, barefoot teachers, started a program that has spread nationwide. It has even gone beyond the boundaries of this country and is still growing. For millions of children in the underprivileged sections of rural communities, River has created, tested, successfully implemented and replicated in India and abroad a path-breaking, multi-grade, multi-level methodology in primary education. Over 75,000 teachers have been trained and over 6 million children are being benefited by this unique system, which uses activity-based learning. Unlike the glaring drawbacks existing in the prevalent, monograde, teacher-directed, textbook-based teaching system, the MGML methodology has started a silent revolution that makes learning joyful, makes the teacher more accountable, and has created schools that run without fear. Truly, it gives a child and its teacher a freedom to learn.
It's not freedom of choice that you're giving the children. What you're giving the children is the freedom to learn at their own pace. And what you need in the countryside is this freedom to learn at your own pace, which is denied them. And I think that's a crucial insight.
Dari dandare dandana